Good.
Okay. Well, I guess it's 8:04. We'll go ahead and get started. So we're on Tuesday, we talked about some of the basics of Canva. Today, we'll kind of hit those a little bit and then add some new stuff, just some things to make your social media look a little bit nicer. And then I'll show you actually how to publish it as a website so you can make it a link and put it places on your school website or Sports U. And as you update it, it updates automatically as well. So this, we talked about sizes last time. This is a presentation. So when you're choosing what size, the presentation is just, your full screen. It's got the most room, and you can still download it to a PDF, landscape or portrait or things like that. It's just when you post these on social media, sometimes they don't fit. But if you're showing them on a computer or you're making a video, these are really, really great. So, and if you have a question, just interrupt me or put it in the chat. I'll try to monitor the chat a little bit better this time than I did last time. So here we go. So the first thing is shapes, locking, and groups. So right here this is my logo for my consulting side of my business, and I just faded it out. I have transparency really low, so this is what it looks like. I put it down really low, so it just fades in the background. Now, if I start putting in text or elements or something, so if I put in a shape, I'll just throw in a square right here. And then I'm trying to move this square and I click on it, I accidentally drag this around with it. So if you lock something, like if you have a big background image or something you want to layer on top of, you click the image, and up here on the right, there's a lock button. And all that means is if you click this, you can't move it anywhere. So if you're working with stuff, you don't have to worry about dragging it and moving it around, so it'll stay in the back. So if you have anything that, that looks good, I want to leave it there, lock it, you can do that. And just unlock it, you just click the unlock, and then you can manipulate it again. Shapes. The one reason I wanted to talk about shapes is that what a lot of people will do is, they can layer different shapes, based on, how it looks, or they'll put their helmet or something with the background. So, you put an extra shape and, you start layering them, and because that looks really good. And I'll throw a helmet in there just for funsies. I'll throw this in there. Sam Houston High School. So now if I wanted to move this all around, I make the shapes, I lay them on, and if I select them all, they're all selected, and I click group. Now this is one entity. So whenever I touch this moves with itself. And if I make it smaller, it all shrinks or grows in the same dimensions, the same proportions. And this is really good if you have like multiple text or multiple layers, you want to move something around. And then if you want to change it, you just click it, click ungroup, and then you can, move them around and change them that way. So are there any questions about shapes, locking, or groups? All right. Sweet. Stickers. So on Tuesday, I talked about this a little bit, and then last week I talked about a little bit more, but stickers are these active little GIFs, and they're moving, and they're really used for emphasis. And what I wanted to show y'all, that when you search for something, so I'm gonna search for America stickers. By putting the word stickers in there, it's gonna pull up, things that move. And so obviously they don't have a lot for this, but have a nice bow, you have hands clapping, you have a yeah. So whenever you're thinking of something, you want to try to add an emphasis or bring someone's eye to something, you can search for stickers. I really like square stickers. because if you have an important message or a focal point on your social media, you can, put it out there, and yes, it gets a little crowded if you use too much and it looks very like epileptic kind of. But when you do this, it's another thing that's moving. And y'all all know when you're scrolling through a feed, if something's moving, it's going to catch your eye. So if you're trying to promote your athletes, if you're trying to get something out there, using stickers and things that move in like the middle and the meat and potatoes of your social media, that's where people really see it. Because even if it doesn't fit that middle part on Twitter or Instagram, they'll always see that little middle part. So you'll be able to draw their eye to it. The only issue right now with stickers is that you can't change the color. And unlike regular squares, this one, they'll always keep their exact shape. If I'm using a regular square or an outline of a square, outline of a square, and I want to make this thinner, if I make it smaller and then I can drag it out, you can't do that with stickers. So the only downside to them is whatever proportions they are, they're fixed and you can't change the colors, but there's still lots and lots of options for use those. So another thing I like to do is emphasis stickers. And these are little, little arrows, little call outs, little things that if you want to, again, you're drawing people's eyes to something particular. Like if you have that one sentence that you want to make sure people know, stickers are a good way to do that. And if you make sure that if anything is moving on your Canva and you want to put it out there, you have to download it as a video. So there's a video or a GIF. If something's moving, you need to download it as that. But if you're just proofreading it, you can download it as a PDF and then send it to someone to proofread, because as some people in this room can tell you, I'm not a strong speller and I always need stuff to get proofread. Any questions about stickers? Cool. Okay, let's just keep going then. All right, text shadowing. So this is a really easy trick that makes things look nicer.
Hey, Zach.
Yes, sir.
I do have a question. Those were, you probably said this and maybe I missed it, but when you were doing those moving stickers and so forth, those are to social media as videos? Yes. Okay.
And as long as you don't have too much on there, they'll all fit. Like Twitter's max video size and GIF size, I wouldn't think you'll be able to get on it, put too much stuff on there for this.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Text shadowing. So text shadowing, it just adds a level of depth and it's really easy to do. So I'm just going to write, the cow jumped over the moon. Okay. And then all you have to do, whatever you write, and once you get your proportions right, it looks really, really good. What you do is you're going to select what you want to copy. And up here on the top right, it says duplicate, and it'll just, whatever you clicked on, it'll duplicate that. And you hover it over it. So you match them up and you can change the color. And then I just use the arrow keys to move it up and down. And you just look at it from different angles, and it just it jumps out at you. It looks 3D. It looks fancy. The only thing I've learned, if you use a lot of fancier fonts, like a lot of the handwriting fonts or the really intricate things, like here's Architect's Daughter. I use this a lot for different stuff. When you copy it and you try to do shadowing, since it's got a lot of squiggles, it doesn't look as good. So when you shadow, it's really good to use all caps, a lot more straight lines. This looks nice, but it doesn't have that bold jump out kind of look to it. And you can do this for as much stuff as you want. And if you have to change it all you have to do is just, I select the top one, delete it. Delete. You change your text. I'm going to say duck cow, how my son says it. And then you just copy it again and change the color. And then once you get what you want, like a nice pink, you can select both of them, group them, and now I can move them and manipulate them together. If I make them smaller, it'll keep its shape. Its proportions. So that's a really easy thing to do to help, make your titles look a little bit better, make kids' names look a little bit better, things like that. Yeah. Any questions about text shadowing? Okay, sweet. Jiffy and emojis. So
can you save that text shadow from presentation to presentation, or do you start that process all over again?
That is, you can, if you have like a good template that you want to use, and on the home page, you can just make a copy of your whole presentation and then change it from there, or you can just change it each time that you do it. Or if you do get on a slide, this button right here, copy page, it'll copy the slide. So if you have like a nice title or something, then you can just keep that and then delete and then start your process, your next slide.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. Okay, Jiffy. So this, on the left side, down at the bottom, you click more, and they're always adding things to this. As you can see, Bitmoji, those are the things that they're really popular on Facebook right now, where you make a little avatar of yourself. But Jiffy is what Twitter uses, or not Twitter. Yeah, Twitter and Apple. When you look for GIFs on your phone and you search, woo, like from Nature Boy, those are the things that pop up. So they're there for you. So within your graphic, if you want to add a GIF, you can add a GIF, just about anything. You can search anything you think of, because people will, they're constantly adding to this. Different stuff will pop up. You can be as specific or less specific as you want. And again, it's just another thing. It makes it look really professional, like somebody did it. And then emojis, kids love emojis, going 100. Whenever I text one of my athletes and I say anything remotely funny, this is what I get back. I'm sure some of y'all have experienced that too. But what's fun about the emojis is you see up here on the top left, I can actually change the colors. So if you want to make the emoji your school colors and, have a little fun with it, as long as it doesn't look creepy like mine does, that's another fun thing that you can do that helps, personalize it to your program, helps promote kids, those kinds of things. And this more button, they're adding stuff all the time. You can put YouTube, if you're doing a presentation, you can put YouTube clips directly into this. You can download it with a YouTube clip, but there's certain size restrictions. It's like, I think it's videos over about 2 minutes long. Embeds, you can put links and all kinds of stuff. And they're always adding things to this, like brand fetch. I have no idea what that is, but it costs money. I do know that. And if you save it as a GIF, or you use a GIF, or anything moves, again, you need to save it as a video so it actually moves as it's going on. Any questions about that? Sweet. Okay, so the big thing, video. So Canva, you can actually do some very basic video editing, and this QR code that's right here, which all I did was I clicked this QR code, I put in the URL and put it on there. If you scan it, it'll take you to a video on YouTube. This is a thank you to first responders that our coaches did at Cypress Ranch, and I made it using Canva. A bunch of coaches sent me videos, and I just put it all together, and I downloaded it as a video, and then I sent it out. So what you do is if you have a video, and there's a size restriction of 250 megabytes, which is about under 3 minutes. So if it's a full color video, it's about 3 minutes or less. So if you have a 7-minute video you want to put into it, you can split it in half, upload it, and then re-put it together in Canva. It's actually really simple. So where's my video? Okay, I'm gonna go to uploads. If I can't drive.
Am I the only one lost audio?
No, I was thinking it was just me.
No.
Same thing here. I can't hear him either.
Yep.
Y'all hear me now?
Yes.
All right, sweet. So you can, and I know why I lost audio, because my computer started playing the video. So you can trim it by sliding those toggles. And y'all still hear me? Let's do it again.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Clyde. So y'all can, you slide those toggles and you say trim, and it trims your video down. So if you're having multiple videos that you have to like put back together, all you have to do is make 2 slides. So what I did in that thank you video was I set up my I set up like my background. So there's a square, and there's like, it says thank you on the side. So like we talked about on Tuesday, these element boxes, like these frames that have the little, the old school Windows background, these work for pictures and video as well. So if I take my video, and I'll just take this video from Canva so I can show y'all, and I put it in there, it'll crop it for me. It'll make it fit. So let's say this was the first half of my video, and this was the second half of my video. Well, if I duplicate the slide, and then I put my second half in here, when I download it as a video, it'll put all of it together. So there's not like a transition in between. It'll just play it like it's going through the entire time. So when you're putting like highlights together, or you're putting clips together, and you can even make it a gigantic, take up the entire, screen if you wanted to. But when you download it, it runs as a seamless video. And if you watch this thank you video I made, it ended up being 184 slides, because there was 184 lines of dialogue. But when you watch it, it's a seamless video. Any questions about that? Sweet. Awesome. All right. Adding music. Now this is new. It's still in the beta phase, which means they're still testing it out. On the left side, if you don't see this music button, all you have to do is go down to more, and it'll be at the top of apps and integrations. It'll say music, and you click it, and then it's there the whole time. Unfortunately, at this time, even if you have the paid version, like I have the paid version, you can't upload your own music. But as you can see, they have, happy, instrumental, cinematic, different kind of vibes. So you can click on it and you can listen to a sample of it. But if you want to put it in your presentation, all you have to do is drop your music. And as it says, you can only use one per design. And I'm going to click on this and I'm going to show y'all something. So if I lose sound again, I'll just let me know and then I'll come back and explain it. But if you click on the music, on the top, it'll say trim and there'll be a sound bar of like the entire song. And there'll be a part of the bar that's highlighted. And that part of the bar that's highlighted is how long your presentation is when you download it for a video. So then you can slide it back and forth to the part of the song you want. And when you click save, that's the music it'll download. So hopefully I'll click this. And as you can see up here, this highlighted part, this is the actual part of the song that I'm listening, that I'm going to have when I download it. So you can find that sweet spot where you want. And then when you click, and then when you download it, it'll download that music with you. And unfortunately, you can only do one song. And depending on how long your presentation is, some of the songs are 2 minutes. Some of the songs are, this is 10 minutes long. It just depends. But if you have no experience making videos, adding music is a really easy way to make it look more professional. And then right here on the side, you can mess with the volume of it. So if you have people talking, you want that volume to be really low, and it's a background filler for all the noise. And y'all watch videos where you're like, is there music playing? But it's so subtle, it's just filling in the gaps. And then when you download it all, you'll say download as a video, and it'll download all your clips together as one. It'll download all the videos together as one, and it'll be, a professional looking video. Any questions about that? Awesome. Okay. Now, something I'm really excited about, because I discovered this on Monday of this week as I was playing around with it, which the best way to learn is just go in there and play around with it, was publishing to a website. So if you put all your presentation, all your information together, on the caret on the top right-hand corner, you have all these options for downloading. Well, this website beta, you click on it and you can select presentation, scrolling, where it kind of scrolls the same way as we do, classic navigation, and standard. The best way for me right now is presentation, just because what I have been using it for. An open website. So this link right here, this is your Canva project. So whatever you do is going to be there. So just to prove it, here's my publish a website. I'm going to go back to our presentation, and I'm just going to, for the sake of, I'm going to put a video in. I'll put in this nice video of this smoke moving slowly. And then when I go back to my website and I reload, like every time it reloads, anything you change will be there. So if you're using this for your weight room, if you're using this for information about summer camps, like I know we're about to have all those meetings about what we can find out when we can start summer. You put all the information on one place, you go back, update it. Parents are always going back to the same place. And all you have to do to put this on your website is take this link and put it on whatever you use. You can put it on SportsU, Twitter, your Google site, your school website, anything like that. You could also integrate it or embed it. And what that means is, if you have a website and you want it just to be there and showing, and if you don't know how to do this and you have a website, I'll happily show you. We can do a one-on-one training to do it. But when you click embed, this WordPress or HTML link, when you click copy it, it copies all this code that basically just, it says, this is the website, this is what it looks like, this is a frame. So when you go to it, it's playing your video or it's playing your presentation. It's already all there. And every single time you update it, and the website reloads, it'll update it to your website. So this is something I get, like, again, I just found out about this and I'm really excited about it because it's going to save me a lot of time from downloading it, updating this, and things of that nature. Any questions about that? Okay. All right. So that's really it for today. So if this weekend, I'm going to do some thinking about if I want to continue doing these topics about social media management, from like how to schedule posts, a good way to follow your hashtags, follow athletes, and then how to use Google Drive and Google Sites and SportsU to help you, be efficient with your program and with your athletes. So if there's no questions, if no one has any questions, I hope y'all have a
question.
Yes, Clyde.
One of the things, as soon as I got on, you said the issue you had was as far as uploading it to Twitter. A lot of times, size is an issue. What's your answer in that?
So if you're just uploading it to Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
when you make a graphic and you search Twitter, this Twitter post, that's the exact size.
Okay.
And so when you look at Twitter, that's the one that fits perfectly. What I do a lot, the social media, this is the one that when you look on Twitter, you see like the middle third of it and you click on it and it opens.
Mm-hmm.
But this also fits on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're publishing to all three using a third-party system that we'll talk about in our next clinic, it's just an easier way to do it. So you don't have to like, here's my post for Twitter, here's my post for Facebook, here's my post for Instagram. I mean, if you want to do that, you can. This is just the easiest way to get all three covered and get your information out.
Do you lose any of the benefits of actually using the presentation?
What do you mean?
You said using presentation. That was that was the easiest way to do it. Do you lose any of the things that you can do within that setting on that Twitter?
Yes. I mean, I meant to say the presentation is the easiest for me to do clinics like this and to do presentations, but for social media, this doesn't fit on any of them. Like Facebook will only show like a part of it. Twitter will barely show any of it. And then sometimes you click on it and when it opens, it's still not the whole thing.
Gotcha.
So
you're using this mainly for your presentations then?
Yes, absolutely.
And it will and then this will allow you to download in Microsoft PowerPoint, I'm assuming.
You can only download it. You can download it as a PDF, but you just click present and then it presents it just like any other PowerPoint.
Gotcha.
You don't have animations or the fancier stuff, but you can sit there with a clicker and go back and forth and all those kinds of things.
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you. It's a good question.
Zach, when you're building a social media post, and let's say that you don't use the standard social media size of 1,000 by 1,000, whatever that was, and you use the resize button to resize graphics for different social media websites, I have noticed that it distorts the image quite a bit and it looks displaced and so forth. Are there any settings that allows it to convert it, to resize it and carry its proportions?
So I've been experimenting with that, and if you don't have the premium or pro version, the resize doesn't work. I actually found out, and I tweeted it today, that if you use your school email, you can get the resize, or you can get the pro version for free. But when I do resize, I do the biggest one first. So the Instagram and Facebook is the 1,000 pixels. When you resize that down, it's not as bad if you try to resize it up, because it'll always distort it. So if I click, if I resize this to where's Twitter, Facebook poster, logo, flyer, I'll just say YouTube icon, because YouTube icons are really small. So it'll shrink everything down. So it tries to make it fit. So then all you have to do is, you kind of just go back and maybe move it around, but it's saving a lot more time than trying to recreate it every single time. But it's always better to go bigger to smaller. Did I answer your question?
Yes. Elaborate what you said on the pro version now. Is there a paid version and then the pro version is above the paid, or are you calling?
No, there's the 3 versions there are. There's a free version, and then there's a premium and a pro. The only difference between those two is that a pro, you can have like a high school account and you can collaborate. So your other coaches could log into Canva and y'all could see the same things. The premium version is just, you have more abilities, but that all exists. And you have to fill out a form that says, this is my educator email, this is my credentials, this is what I use it for, and there's like an approval process. So I haven't been approved for it yet. I'm just seeing if it works. But the premium and pro version, it's just the collaboration is the difference.
We need that, Ms. Hancock. Is this I see the recording button on that. Do you share this out for people to use, or?
I haven't yet. I've been recording it, and I was thinking about going back and the times that I'm talking, cutting it all up and posting that. So I'm still working on that. I'm actually talking to a friend of mine about helping me do that, and I'm trying to get my website updated. So when that does happen, I'll send out, here's the Canva, my clinics, or I've also thought about watching these myself and like redoing them, recording that, and then posting that as well. But I'm not posting it. I'm not showing the whole world that you're asking me questions. No, sir.
Oh, I'm not worried about me asking the questions. I just would like to have it for access to our guys. So what you're basically saying, if I go back and recap, multiple logins is the biggest deal on the premium. So like each coach would have their own password to log in.
That's the pro. I don't really know how well it works, but it's like you can collaborate up to 3 people or something. When I get the information and I find out about it, I'll let you know. But paying for it is, it's kind of expensive. So, I mean, I've done, we had in the past, we've had a Google account, we had a separate athletics Google account that multiple coaches had to log in for. And that's the way we would collaborate to save some money. But I'll find out some more information and I'll send you an email tomorrow.
When is the clinic on using MyGA for feeder pattern schools and how to coordinate, like a school that has 2 junior highs under it? And when is that training session, sir?
We can set up a time next week, whenever's good for you.
Okay. I think I've asked a lot of questions now.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions?
Hey, Zach, I had to run upstairs and do prayers with my boys. Can you, and I missed the part on publishing the website. Can you just go over that kind of quickly?
Yeah. So if you have a presentation that you want to, share a link and publish and you want to be able to change later, when you click the little caret on the top right, you just click website and you say, you can select how you want it to look. I would just do presentation just because it's the easiest. And this link right here that it gives you, that's the link you can have, and you can put it on, you can send it on SportsU, you put it on Twitter, what have you. And then whenever you change it, so here's my sparkly colors, it saves every 3 seconds. There it's saved. I go back to my website of there it goes. I go back to my website. I click reload. It loads, and then you'll see my fancy colors I just added. Bam. So whenever it saves because Canva saves about every 3 seconds. So whenever you make a change, they reload the site, it updates your website. So I'm thinking about, using it as, for the weight room, for the kids to access, for information for summer camps, calendars, things of that nature. Schedules, your schedule change, you put schedules on there, and your, JV game gets canceled or something. You don't have to like re-download and re-upload. It's just always updated and always there to go. Actually, I'm gonna write that down. I can use that for my school.
So you would embed that URL.
You can.
Like within your WordPress website or something like that?
Well, if you have, you're speaking my language right now. So if you actually have a WordPress website, you can click embed, and then you can take your code and just put that in there, and then it'll be like a live website little window on your website itself. So it's not, now they don't have to click and go somewhere else. They can just, it's live in there and sitting there.
Okay. And the other thing is, like, if you publish it, like we use Remind up here in Kansas. Have you heard of that Remind app?
I have.
Okay. So you're saying if I send out an original post on Remind with, like you said, the summer schedule,
Mm-hmm.
and it has that URL in it. Mm-hmm. When they click on it in the original message, like in here at the end of May, they'll see a schedule. But then, like, let's say early June, I go change something, and then they click back on that Remind announcement. That URL will be updated with the new information. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. The URL will not change, but the information it has will. So if you go make a change, they click it, it'll be there. If you use, you can use the same URL for a year, it'll be there. It'll be changed. It'll be as updated as you update it as they click on it.
Okay. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jason.
So following up on his question, this is not an entire web page itself. It's like a piece on your current web page. Is that?
Yes, sir. Yeah. So it's you can't build a web page out of it, but you can build a lot of content out of it. So if it's there as a tool, so you don't have to go back and forth and edit and this and that. If you have all your stuff set up, and that's one of the things I'm thinking about talking about later, is you can set these things up, and then when you set your website up, you do that pain point once, and then you never have to touch your website ever again. So yeah. Any other questions?
Can you explain to me you clicked to your website to show us those updates? You clicked on one of the tabs and it was a website?
So like this one right here?
Yes. What is that website?
When you click this website button and say open, it'll create a unique website address for you. So this is, Canva, and then my design, and then whatever their code is to say, this is my user, this is my design, this is what it says. And then all I would do is I'd highlight that and then copy and paste it to wherever I need it to go. So
the website's not going to look really like this page. This is what would go on your website.
Right.
In a smaller version, I guess, or.
Mm-hmm. It would set it to probably fit the screen based on, websites are smart and they say you're on their phone, so I'll make it fit the phone, and you're on a big computer, make it fit the big computer, things like that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Well, awesome. If y'all have any questions, I hope y'all have a blessed day. I hope all y'all's families are doing well, and have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Bye, Zach. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let me know if you need any help with anything.
We sure will. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, but we will. Thank you.
You're welcome, Coach. Coach Gordon, you have any questions?
Not at the moment. I really appreciate you for having this conference. I really do. When's the next one again?
It's going to be someday next week, and it's going to be about how to schedule. Like, so there's programs that are free that you can schedule your post. So it's like Sunday, and then you want to put a post out Wednesday, Friday. It's how you do it. You can do it on Sunday. It'll post for you, things like that.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
and if you have any questions about anything, you can email me. If you have ideas for clinics you want to learn about, you can email me, and if I don't know how to do it, I'll find out real fast and I'll master it really, really fast. So
I will. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
you're welcome, Coach. You too.